And a good day, everybody. Jewel here with you with the tropical update of what's going on. I know many of you have watched the chat that I had with Scott Turan. He's the Vice President of District 5 of Cameron Parish Police Jurors. He's going to be sending me pictures and videos of exactly what it looks like down in those areas. I know sometimes we see things that really isn't the way it is, but I try to go straight to the horse's mouth. Now, some people are devastated this morning while others are not. Apparently, the storm surge in Cameron was not as bad as what was expected. With a Category 4 hurricane, the strongest hurricane to hit the U.S. yet. A lot worse so far as the strength that was in the storm. Hard to believe, but Katrina, you can look it up. Katrina was a Cat 3 when it made landfall. Laura was a Cat 4 on the verge of a Cat 5. Now, I've looked up some stuff from things that I trust. The winds were clocked in at some places when it went ashore at 150 miles per hour. And how these folks escaped severe, killing life surge. Well, there's only one way. You might not like what I'm going to say, but someone a whole lot bigger than me and you had something to do with it. I'll leave it at that. Now, let's see what's happening right now. Laura, 100 mile per hour winds. She is a Category 2 hurricane going on right now. The pressure is 970 millibars. If you're tracking 31.2 north, 93.3 west, it's moving north at around 15 miles per hour. Now we have this system disturbance number 1. It's a tropical wave moving westward over the eastern tropical Atlantic. Now, it seems to be around a couple of hundred miles east of the Cabo Verde Islands, and it is continuing to produce disorganized shower activity. Although environmental conditions are not expected to become conducive for development during the next couple of days, they are forecast to gradually become more favorable over the weekend and into early next week, when the wave starts to move into the central tropical Atlantic. 2 days 0, 5 days 20. That's the chance the National Hurricane Center is giving it. It is going to move. It is going to strengthen. There are 2 more behind this one that will be coming off. Power outages going on, folks. Power outages. Over in California, we have a lot of power outages due to all of the fires. Currently in California, there are 17,325 people that don't have electricity. Moving over to Texas. This is all because of Hurricane Laura. 116,264 people, as of now, this morning, is out of power. Moving over to Louisiana, 450,311 without power in the state of Louisiana. And folks, these numbers for Louisiana and Texas will probably keep growing. Do not expect power in some portions of Louisiana for at least a week or 2, maybe a little bit longer. Some of you will be fortunate and get it on sooner, but I'm just telling you, a lot of you are going to have to wait this out. Same goes for areas of Texas. This is GOES 16. Of course, we can look at the satellite here and see what's going on. Before I go any further, if you haven't subscribed, folks, please do so. Click subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you check off all. You got to check off all if you want to get reminders of videos when I put them out. So please do that. I would greatly appreciate it very, very much. And I do want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers. I love and care about each and every one of you. Now, as we look at this map, you can see here is Laura. We've got a lot of tornado watches going on now in Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle. This is going to continue. Now, I cannot stress enough, click show more down below this video. I will have all the information as Laura moves northward to the areas it's coming to as what you can expect. Please do that. Now, I'll turn this on right quick and you can see what's going on. Here's our system off the coast of Africa. You can see it's not organized at all at this time. All spread out. No vorticity. It's just a bunch of rain clouds, but it's going to get into the water. And this is as it moves further to the west. The shear wind that you see is going to lighten up. Then, here's a second one coming off they're not talking about, but then there's a third one. So, let's get back to Hurricane Laura. Let's take it one at a time, huh? Now, it is on a northeastward trend to east-northeastward motion, and that's going to probably continue today, tonight, and tomorrow. Now, it's looking like Laura's going to move northward across western and northern Louisiana through this afternoon. And the center of Laura is forecast to move over Arkansas tonight, the mid-Mississippi Valley Friday, and the mid-Atlantic states by Saturday. So here we go right now. As I showed you earlier, the maximum sustained winds as of now is 100 miles per hour. It does still have higher gusts in it, but one thing that is going to happen, it's looking like Laura is going to weaken pretty rapidly. And it could even become a tropical storm later today. Not saying it's going to, but it could. And I think by the time it reaches portions of Arkansas, it will be a tropical storm. And I think the tropical storm will go through Arkansas and then a tropical depression through portions of western Tennessee. That's what it's looking like right now. As we take a quick look at the tracking map from the National Hurricane Center, you can see right now that Laura still has a very big wind field. See how big it is? Very big wind field. Tropical storm warnings are still up along the coastlines from Texas over through Louisiana and a small portion of the Mississippi Panhandle. Now you can see also Laura will remain a hurricane as a Category 2, dropping down to a Category 1, and then it's looking like it should come in Arkansas as a Category 1, and as it moves along, turn into a tropical storm. As it's exiting Arkansas, it should turn into a tropical depression as it moves over portions of Tennessee, the southern sections of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. By the time it exits West Virginia, comes across Virginia, it should be post-tropical depression. But then it is going to regenerate. Once it gets off the coast and the coast of Long Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, it will turn into a post-tropical storm again. Yeah, it's not going to die in a full-fledged tropical storm as it moves on up and out in days ahead. So, be aware of this. Just make sure you're safe. Keep your eyes on your local weather and your local authorities, what they're saying about it. You should be okay, but don't be surprised anywhere from Missouri Boot Hill, western Tennessee, Kentucky. You guys should probably get some gusty winds coming up. Your sustained wind shouldn't be that bad. Nothing that you can't handle. But you could have 35 to possibly 45 and 50 mile per hour wind gusts. So keep that in mind along with the wind and the rain. And always there's a chance of tornadoes where any hurricane travels Keep that in mind. Once again, don't forget to click Show More to certain specific areas for information. I will have it posted. The link's there. You can go and read it for yourself. Right quickly, I'm not going to read all of this, but let's go over it. We do have, let's move this up just a little bit if we can here. We have some changes. The hurricane warning from High Island to Intercoastal City has been replaced with a tropical storm warning. A storm surge warning is still in effect for High Island, Texas to the mouth of the Mississippi River, and a tropical storm warning is in effect for High Island, Texas to the mouth of the Mississippi River also. Let me see if I can get all these things off right quick. They just seem to not want to stop. But let's see if we can get them to stop before I go on, because they're distracting. Now, as we move on down, let's see some of the hazards that may be affecting places. We do have this storm surge. Here's the areas the National Hurricane Center is forecasting. Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge to Intercoastal City, 10 to 15 feet. Also, you can see 10 to 20 feet from Johnson Bay on up and across. Here are the areas right in here. I will make sure and post this and show more, along with other things that you need to know, including other places like Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, other places. This is just a quick breakdown, okay? This is just a quick breakdown. Hurricane force winds and damaging wind gusts are expected to spread well inland into portions of eastern Texas and western Louisiana this morning, during the morning hours, up until I'd say maybe lunch or a little after, and tropical storm conditions will spread northward within the warning areas through today. Tornadoes are possible today and tonight over parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and western Mississippi. And through Saturday, Laura is expected to produce 1 to 3 inches of rain, some places, isolated places of 5 inches across the mid-Mississippi Valley and portions of the Tennessee and lower Ohio Valley and the central Appalachians and the mid-Atlantic states. And that's a quick update of what's happening with Laura. Soon as Scotty sends me this information, I know he's very busy, but he will be sending me video and pictures of what Cameron's looking like once he actually gets there. He didn't stay there exactly. He was a little bit from it, but where he was, the wind was something. The wind was something, folks. He told me that some of the neighbors around him houses were in his yard in pieces. So that's the way that was. Hopefully, though, the storm surge, he said, wasn't bad at all where he was. Let's hope and pray it stays that way, and I think it will. I want to bring you pictures that I know are the real deal. So hang around. As soon as he gets them to me, I will be posting them. This is what it's looking like now. Do not worry, all of my island friends. I'm keeping my eyes on disturbance number 1. And we will have disturbance number 2 and 3 pop off before it's all over. Everybody stay safe. Have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. I appreciate you folks more than you know. I love you all. And much peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thank you for watching.